Oh, it's hard to believe. Episode 67 of the Sorrow Eternal podcast. Darrell here. Wanted to have a couple quick words about some reviews from the past week and make a pair of announcements, you could say, for now. So last week, great week for reviews, had some really good albums. Started the week off with the new album from Fen called Dustwalker. Now, if you haven't listened to this band before, you should really get on it. They do some pretty interesting things with the black metal formula, and they just take it and just turn it on its head, which I think is fantastic in this case. The long acoustic passages, the psychedelic rock, it's all there in one package. And, they, over the course of the last couple of years, I've gotten into them more and more, and I think that this album is absolutely the best one in their catalog. They take things to a new level, production-wise, sound quality, and just the overall writing, just absolutely incredible. So make sure you check out Dustwalker, because you probably won't be disappointed. I think the official release date is sometime in March, so just make sure you keep an eye out for that. Now, sandwiched in the middle of the week was the EP from the band Prevenge. It was the Rorschach EP. For those of you who the name obviously sounds familiar, the Rorschach test is kind of the ink blot test, where they show you a picture of an ink blot and they ask you what it looks like. I really like the name and kind of how it fits into the music itself. And it was a mixed bag, really. Some of the instrumentals are absolutely awesome, and then the vocals come in. This is where it's going to go one way or the other for you. The vocals were not exactly what I was hoping for, but I think that there's a lot of workable things going on here. And they're a young band, so they got time to develop. And I think that I know they're working on a full length now, and I think that will be probably pretty incredible. So I think it's a good start. So check it out. It's on their Bandcamp site, prevengemetal.bandcamp.com. So give that one a listen. And above anything else, just a class act these guys are. So just give them a listen, see what you think. And then the last one for the week was actually the album by the band Wandersword. Now they are a melodic death / folk band from St. Petersburg, Russia, and the album is incredible. And I didn't know what I was going to get. So when I started to listen, it just it kicks in, and there's so many pieces of it that are just so absolutely incredible, and it takes some of the best aspects of bands like Insomnium, Death Clock even, and it just absolutely just kills. It was really, really impressive, and I don't know how long these guys have really been around, but the other thing being, the album is completely done with Russian vocals, can't understand a word of it. I don't know what they're singing about. I have no idea. I looked at some rough translations of the song titles, and I know that the album and main song is called "Waiting for War," but I can't even tell you how impressed I was with how this album went. And if you get a chance to listen to this one, they're not exactly a widespread band. They have a Facebook page, but no Bandcamp or anything else, so it does make it hard. But if you can get your hands on this album like I did, you definitely want to check it out, because you'll really like it. If you're into any sort of melodic death or folk-inspired death metal, I think this could be a top album for you this year. So definitely check that out. That was the week in reviews, and have a couple interviews coming with Malnat and Aphelium, and really excited to do those, and trying to get some more feelers out there to get some other interviews. And kind of been reflecting on the interviews that Justin and I had done in the past, whether it was Elven King or Junius. These are bands that are well outside our pay grade, and they were kind enough to take the time to answer questions for us. And looking back on those, I'm really, really happy with the results that we got. So I'm really looking forward to getting back into the interview cycle, because I think you guys find that interesting, and even if you don't, I do. But one announcement I had to make is that we do have 2 new writers who are going to be contributing to the site. I believe this week we'll see the first review from Stuart Hall, who actually resides in Australia, which is about as geographically far away from the headquarters as possible. So Stuart's going to be, kicking in a review a week. He also has his own page. I believe it's Sensitive Stew's Music Blog, something to that effect. But looking forward to working with Stuart. And then maybe in a week or two, I believe we're going to have another writer whose name is Brian Du Bois, who's going to be writing for the site as well. And Brian is actually the significant other of a friend, and he has a definitely different taste range in a lot of metal. We share some bands in common that we both like, but for the most part, we probably couldn't be much different. I know his favorite band is Sabaton, which is a band that I never really got into, but I'm looking forward to his take on some of this stuff too, and I know he's excited to get into the fray. So keep an eye out for their reviews. I'll be sure to point out when they're dealing out their first ones, and the site is just going to grow from here, and I think that's great for the site and for you guys. Keep your eyes on the content, and maybe we can help turn you on or turn you off to some bands along the way. So I guess that's it for this week. Nothing really else to talk about. I just wanted to remind you can get your copy of the sampler still. We're actually down towards the latter half of our quantity on that. You can go on to our Bandcamp page and order it from there. And if you use the code grundle, you get it for $3. So, and I will ship it out immediately. I like to get them out as soon as possible before I get lazy. So, get yourself a copy of that, and, if you're unfamiliar with the bands on there, just listen to it on the Facebook page, and I think there'll be at least a couple of tracks on there that you will want to get your hands on. So, grab a copy of the sampler, make sure you give us a like on Facebook and follow us on Twitter so you can keep up with all the latest reviews. And, as always, if you have a band you want your album reviewed, absolutely send it over to us, sorrowyeternalblog@gmail.com. And I'll, start now. There's going to be a disclaimer attached to all of our emails and other communique, which basically says that, as we mentioned before, we're honest, and if we're going to listen to your album, we're going to give you an honest assessment of that and give it a score, and whether that is good or bad, that's what we're going to do. So, we don't want you to be offended. We don't want you to, be hurt by, what we say about it. If we like your album, we'll say that. If we're not a fan, we're going to say that too. So keep that in mind before you hit that send button. And hopefully, we'll keep seeing as many submissions as we are, which is pretty awesome, to open our email a couple times a week and see, 20 new submissions from bands across the world. So send it on in, and we'll get it done. And thank you guys for listening and reading, and awesome.